and I tried to be really open to them about, I I have always had a sense of adventure. I brought them along on my adventures, when they
Oh,
were younger, but now it's time for mom to have her own, curate her curiosity about the world that I hope that I inspired within you.
mhm.
Um, with my husband, he had questions about, why are you doing, what's happening? Are we okay? Which I
Right.
think is an appropriate approach, and that I didn't feel that he was trying to distract me from my goal of spending time away. He was just
Right.
trying. It was a check-in. It was a relationship check-in that I think is important. I did
Yeah.
ask him. I know that. Okay, so what I'm describing to you all is not a weekend trip away. It wasn't. I'm taking a week away.
Mhm.
Most of the solo traveling I have done has been for a month or so.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you're
And
gonna
so
do a whole well,
when I say I took time away, I
mhm.
mean I really did take time for myself. Because there's some things you can do in a weekend, there's some things you can do in a week. There's an expansive amount of things that you can stop, start, try within, a month or 6 weeks that you would not have the space or time to do, to establish for yourself.
Okay.
And so, yeah, so we spent some time talking about things like safety. He was like, I know that you're an experienced traveler. I know that you know how to keep yourself safe. I know that you have strategies on. He was like, but we need to agree on some things. I want to know where you're going to be located. I mean, none of that was secret at any time. If he felt like he needed to be where I was, I'm pretty sure he's never had to do that. He's never done that. There is a lot of trust in our relationship when it comes to that. And so he wanted to make sure that I had built in some safety mechanisms. Like I would prefer. He knows I'd love to walk. Like when I'm in new cities, I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna do a lot of walking. He was like, when it starts to get to be sundown, either you take a ride share back to where you are, or you just agree to make sure that you're indoors at a good time.
Right.
And that or that if you're going to be out late, that we at least ping each other and let
Checking in.
check in as a check in. And
Yeah.
I said I'm fine with that. So
Right.
um, just even the house sitting thing was new, even though we had done Airbnbs before. He was like, "What is that? What's happening with that? What are they asking you to do?" I was like, "I'm
Mhm.
bringing in the mail. I'm watering some plants.
Right.
It's about all that I do. I don't really do pet sitting. I do the non-pet house sits. So
Oh, okay.
primarily, and so that was kind of the introduction to my solo travel. I still work during those experiences, so I have routines in my day,
Uh-huh.
but the things that I do before work and the things that I do after work, or that I take time off for, because I usually do try to take some PTO time to
Right.
just explore a lot of the places that I try out. That it's really helped me. One of the things that I feared as a married woman, and we've been together 32 years. We have been married
Mhm.
for 25. Is the reality that either he will live alone because of life circumstances and my passing, or that I may live alone because of
Right.
life circumstances, or my husband passing. And so it's important to me to have confidence in my ability to take care of myself. He does such a beautiful job of taking care of me. Okay. When I
Right.
say taking care of me, I mean he's the primary cook in our home. Like, I cook because I want to and not because I need to. He does. Girl, our kids would have starved. To be honest with you, I was like, I'm not that girl. But
Right.
And so I really had a need to feel that I could stand on my own for my own confidence. But I think what's wound up happening is that he has felt confident if anything happens, that he's known that I could take care of myself. He's witnessed me taking care of myself. And I think that brings a level of peace as you age, as an individual, but also as a couple, that we've built in some mechanisms to make sure that I can live independently. He could live independently. So making sure, account access and, all of the things that it's made us think deeper about preparing ourselves into the future. So solo travel has really been a catalyst for personal discovery for me. Like, I love hiking. I bought a pair of roller skates for my birthday. I do something really cool or weird for each birthday. This year I bought roller skates because I was like, I used to love to skate. And so now skating is a part of my exercise routine. I bought them when I was on my solo trip to Colorado. So I'm finding the girl that I was. I'm affirming the woman that I am, and the woman that I'm growing to be, and finding the quiet. There's a lot of peace in quiet and hearing my own thoughts. There's a lot happening in the mid 40, 50s body
and beyond.
And I think if you have a calling, I hope that women are taking time to be quiet within themselves, even if it is your ride to work. Turn off the radio if you're driving. If you are walking, which I love to walk, that is my primary form of exercise, but I tend to, listen to a podcast. I was like, every once in a while, I'm going to leave my phone at home and just
listen
to my own thoughts, because you have an inner knowing. And I believe that solo travel has given a microphone to the woman in here. And with a microphone, I can hear her clearly. And I wanted to attune my ear to my needs, and solo travel has been an important part of that discovery process.
So we have a couple comments. Chido, hey hon, Miss Chido. She's actually a good friend of mine, and she's the one who kind of spurs me on to do certain things. But she says, was one of them up here I was looking at. She said, other cultures normalize mommy time. She said, I know a millionaire who gave his wife mommy away time monthly. And she says, whereas, because her children are grown, I felt guilty taking time for myself. And that's so true. We do. We feel guilty, but then at a certain point, that guilt stops. It's like, okay, y'all, bye. It's me time. The other one says, she says, having adult children and taking a month away is doable. Just curious about being away from your partner. I guess is a question for you. That long is harder for me to grasp. So because I have to admit, because I went to Portugal in June for, was it 2 weeks, 15 days, something like that.
Yeah.
But it was hard. And I guess it was hard for me emotionally. And I think maybe because I knew this was more of a scouting trip for me to move. And then I would be moving away from Pierre for a short time. But how was that for you? What was your thinking? How did you feel about it? What was going on inside you?
Yeah. Okay. So
Uh-oh.
the really beautiful benefit is you don't really get a chance to miss your partner when you are together every day. And that was something that um, there was some transition there.
Mhm.
Seeing him every day, but our conversations, we could still have them. We still, did video chat, or, there were times where I've said, okay, so I want to have a break. Y'all, we have graduated. As I keep saying, it's incremental.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't start off with 1 month. I really did. There were shorter trips. Like I said, my work trips were sometimes, 4 or 5 days, sometimes a week.
Mm,
And so I'd had that back and forth with him over the years. And so,
right.
kind of managing that, it does take um, kind of a different set of skills to be able to emotionally be apart, physically be apart from your partner for a long period of time. And I felt like I needed that
Yeah.
to kind of there's a we-ness about marriage that is very important. There is an independence of a married woman that is also very important to pay
Yes.
attention to. And it, uh, the harmony between the two can take time to develop. I want to
Okay.
say that. And sometimes I'm good the whole trip. There are times when I'm that third week, I'm just like, I cannot wait to be home. I miss you. I miss my husband on an energy level, like energetically, we
Right.
share that. Physical level, like I'm not hugging nobody. I'm not, I was just like, you kind of
Right.
miss the touch, the special touch of your partner, to laugh together in the same space, to have a rhythm together. It's why I'm married. It's why but I'm recognizing that I need that to begin to recognize some things that I had taken for granted in my marriage that I'm able to bring forward. So what happens in a day now is news, because I'm sharing it at the end of my day, but we're not together and I'm not talking to him throughout the day.